So everyone else who can't make it, and if you guys get, um, let's say if you log out or something like that, you have network issues during the course of the actual webinar, I will be sending through a copy of the video or the recording of the webinar through to the Telegram channel so you guys can actually have a watch there. Okay. So without wasting further time, what I'll do is just kick things off with the most basic element of what we came here for today. Hope, let me just mute everyone before I forget. Okay, there's some people breathing in the background and all of that stuff. So let me just mute that. Now, some people have asked, what is iNzuzo Property Club? All right. Basically, it is a group of individuals looking to profit from the benefits of the property industry. Okay, so I can't put it in more simpler terms than that. Our basic interest as a group collectively is land. All right, so land, buildings, anything that is structural, we actually want to get into it. Ultimately, our goal is to have one of our major projects that we'll be looking forward to is to actually have a mall, a shopping center, whatever you want to call it, mall, shopping center. And that would be one of the biggest ones because in actual fact, shopping centers and stuff like that create a lot of jobs, not just like in the building of the actual shopping center, but thereafter, as opposed to just normal rental and home occupation. But shopping centers create a lot of economic fluency or affluency within that vicinity that they actually built around. So basically that's the ultimate goal, and we are going to be doing that. Right? It might take us some time, but we're definitely getting there, and everyone is pumped up for that. Now, members come from all over the country with the aim of actually owning property. Right now, we all know that property is actually a tough industry to get into. Aside from it being very competitive, it does require a bit of capital, which is why something like this is very helpful because it allows the average person to actually start. Okay, right. You guys can see screen again. Apologies about that. It actually allows the average person to actually get started and just really get going when it comes to the property industry without having or requiring large capital, right? Because that's what stops most people. And they acknowledge that property is a great thing to get into, property is incredible, but they don't have the actual capital to get into property. And some also lack the necessary credibility, obviously, with financial institutions to actually get the capital, right? So collectively as a group, there are a few things that we're going to be doing, right? Structuring things in a different way and just sort of like fine tuning some methods that have been used in order for us to actually get into a space where every single person or every single member within the club will have an own property in some way or another. Because that's the main objective, whether it's through rental income or whether we're just going to be buying or even renovating on that particular deal development and then reselling. That is also something that we're going to be looking into tonight, right? So now there's a few facts regarding what's termed as stock growth, right? Or investment clubs, or whatever you want to call them. Because everything is eventually an investment, even if it's just investing in food. Buying food is an investment, right? So stock shares in SA, South Africa, are worth an estimated 4.4 billion, right? And I mean that's quite a lot of money. And obviously, we all know the demographics, so the type of people that actually get into stock shares. 23% of the population are involved in stock shares in some way or another, and there are over 421,000 stock shares in the country, right? Now, we probably like 421,001. But at the end of the day, it's all about collective brain power. What do we essentially want to achieve or get out of the club itself? A lot of people do it for equipment, let's say electronics. Like we'll take it at work. This person gets 300 bucks and they collect 300 bucks. And this person goes out and buys a flat screen TV this month, you know. I mean, it's so nice. It stimulates the economy. I'm never against people actually spending some money, but Obviously, I'm quite the opposite of that. I'm more the person that they want to be spending that money on. I'd rather own the electronic store rather than actually visiting that on a regular basis. So how it works is, I think everyone has a really good idea of what a stock collapse is actually like. Some people have been involved and are still involved in them, whether it be through work or parents. All our parents have all of these contributions, church, um, his burial stuff where someone passes away in the street and people bring in money. That's a form of investment club, because also just investing, let's say, money into someone's funeral or groceries and all of that. Now, actually, monthly contributions from each member, minimum of 200 rand per month and a maximum of 5,000 rather rand per month. Now, all of this will be explained into detail once you actually pull through your application, and then that's approved, and then you get onto the club. However, as I mentioned with this, you can't really have a flexible number, right? You need to decide on what is going to be comfortable for you. There's going to be 3 plans that you can fall under, and whatever plan that you choose, just make sure it's one that's going to be comfortable for you. You don't want to be switching unnecessarily so during the middle of the month. Now, obviously, the more money you pull through, or the more money you actually contribute on a month-to-month basis, that gives you much more equity in the person who contributes, let's say, 200 rand per month. But even 200 rand per month would actually get us somewhere. Because I mean, if you own 1%, for example, of a let's say rental income or that generates 100,000 rand per month. Let's say it's an entire building and basically making 100,000 rand per month profit, right? Just arbitrary numbers. And all you get is 1% of that. That is 1,000 rand. Okay. Now that is 1,000 rand monthly that you actually didn't have. Plus you own a percentage equity in something that is actually really quite steady. Right. The property market is actually quite steady. It's not the end all be all, but it's something that can and will provide for you as well as your family, even if you're not around, say, 50 or 60 or 100 years from now. Hey, members who are invited are added on to iNzuzo Property Club through NASASA, which is the National Stokvel Association of South Africa. Got that right finally. And it's basically a self-regulatory organization. It's authorized by South African Reserve Bank, in terms of, blah, 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 blah. And you guys can go through to the website and then just check them out and also see us there. Now, to regulate or to actually register on, they require a few details from the person who actually created it. And in this instance, they require a few details from me. And then same thing would be, or similar details will be required from you as you sign up. So on the website, you have your full name, ID number, okay? And then we actually your contact details and all of that. So we add you on to iNzuzo Property Club, and then you're officially part of the club. And once we get to a certain number, I'll explain the number in a moment. Once we get to that number, we will then sort of like close down further entrance, further people from coming into the group, because we don't want to overcrowd too much, because then you get sort of like a mixed batch of people who are extremely focused and who are extremely motivated and who will stick to this. And you also get a group of people who are sort of like on for the ride, sometimes they're here, sometimes they're not here, they miss meetings. I mean, it's actually quite normal for that. I mean, it's part of human nature, but we really want to have majority of people who are focused and who know what they want, and hopefully people who will get themselves into the property industry and will use this as some sort of a gateway as well. I mean, because you never know, this could just be a gateway and not something that you're going to be doing for the next 10 years. Right, now how it works, as I said, each member is required to sign an application form and send it back along with a copy of the ID as well as proof of address. And that is basic information, so like your FICA documentation that you need if you been involved in trading, and I know a lot of you guys have, that sweeping documentation that's also required. That is kept very safe, extremely safe, and will never fall into, I don't know, wrong hands, I guess. I'm not sure what they can do with it, yeah, but it'll never fall into the wrong hands, so we'll keep that safe. Monthly contributions are collected or tracked by the treasurer, who is elected by the members, and they go into the actual stock fund account. And each month, members are informed of the total funds available in the coffers of the property club. So what would happen is, excuse me for that. Right. What would happen is, on a monthly basis, we're going to have a meeting. Right? So during the course of the meeting, um, the treasurer will then present, okay, this is how much had coming in, right? Go through the account, and then this is what we have available. And once there are opportunities, there are property investment opportunities, the meeting will be held. Let's say, for example, we're going to have a meeting on the 15th of this month, and then prior to that, we find that property investment opportunity, right? So when we get that that opportunity, we're going to hold a meeting on the 15th, right? So we won't hold a special meeting, but at every single meeting, we're going to have ideas on what we can go into, what are the most efficient investments available at the moment, and how we can actually leverage off that. Yep. So once we then collectively as a group, whoever's going to be presenting the idea will have to actually convince everyone that it's a viable investment, right? So once we convince the group that, let's say, I don't know, more than half of the group that this is a really good idea, what we can then do is move forward with the idea. So that's basically all we need. So if you have an idea, anyone can come through with an idea, investment opportunity. Now we're obviously going to be starting off on a small scale, right? We're going to be looking at small scale, and we'll be able to scale up as things go. That's really how everything works in any type of business, any type of investment. You don't want to go too big too early. You want to sort of like scale up when, sort of like look down and just start putting the bricks. And by the time you look up, you got an entire house and everything is the way that you thought it would be. Okay. Right. If you guys have any questions, you can throw them on now. You can save them for right at the end as well. Okay. Right now, once a decision is made, we then start the process of actually getting approved finance, or if the funds are sufficient, then we make the payment to either buy or rent the property. Right now, contrary to what a lot of people may believe, you can make rental income actually renting as well. So, for example, you can rent out an entire building, right? Once you rent out that entire building, you then rent it out to a tenant, right? You have to perhaps fix it up a bit, install some let's say elevators, lifts weren't working. So you just have to fix all of those things. And then you actually lease or you rent that apartment or the building, turn it into an apartment, and then just rent it and sell it on rent it out to other people who actually want to live there. Right. So that means that you don't obviously own the place, but you have a lease and you're collecting rental income as well, right? So the profit margins obviously need to make sense in order to get into a deal like that. However, with the right type of leverage and sufficient capital, we can definitely make those deals happen. Right? I know a guy who's been doing it, but is doing it in the Eastern Cape, and he's doing okay with it. Now, in the event of, let's say, of a buy to sell scenario, all members will be paid out once funds become available. It takes about, depending on the type of deal that we're actually going to be going into. For example, if we, let's say a house, right? So if there's a house that was on sale, right? Purchase the home, renovate the home, and then resell it. It takes a few weeks for the funds to be available because obviously the type of deed needs to be transferred through to the new owner, etc. And you have to wait for that. Once the money is paid up, and that is taken care of, what then happens is the funds will be made available immediately. So if that process or that cycle takes 2 months, it takes 3 months, the funds will be available for the members, right? So we'll be able to see the actual funds coming in through to the account and then decide on whether some people want to take whatever they make off that deal and put it towards as a contribution, for example, for a few months, or you want to take out some money. Right? Obviously, we'd like members to actually keep the money in there and sort of like quote unquote reinvest into the membership. Right. Now, in the second scenario would be a buy to rent, which means each member gets a percentage of equity in the property and may receive monthly payments for that. Now, stack up some money, right? Get some money, get some money, get some money in. And obviously, we only need in certain scenarios as little as 10% and put up money. For example, on a deal that would, let's say, buying a place for 100,000 rand, put up money with like 10%, that's 10,000 rand. Okay. And then we basically take that and then we turn it into some sort of rental apartment. It doesn't matter whether it's in townships and or it's in town, and we just revamp that and make sure that it comes. That was a really lovely place and lovely home for people to stay in. But as I mentioned, as I always say, that we mainly looking for multi-family places. Right? We're not looking for single-family homes where you just buy a house and then you just rent it out to one family. Ideally, you want to have multiple families or multiple lease owners or leases. Not quite sure if I'm getting that right. Actually paying money into the account, because I'll explain that. Someone will explain that. One of the partners will explain that as to why we focus on family units rather than multi-family units rather than single-family units. Okay, so there's a few questions that I actually got earlier in the Telegram channel, and I will be covering those in a moment. But I'd like to know if you guys have any other questions so far. Is everything clear? Do you want me to go over anything at the moment? Or should I just continue? Okay. Right, you guys can just type through your questions. You have them, and then I'll take a look at them. Okay. Now, one of the things I wanted to cover was obviously the new position. We are in dire need of a treasurer and a secretary. I have had one person actually volunteer to become secretary, but we obviously have to go through a vote and all of that stuff. So once everyone is signed on and officially a member, those two positions are still open up, because the treasurer is obviously going to be doing something like the accounting work. So it would be nice to have someone with I don't know, bookkeeping or accounting background, or someone who's willing to learn that type of trade and or to work with someone who's in the industry, and also secretarial person who's going to be handling a lot of the admin stuff and just keeping track. But we have to understand that there's many different payments. Some people start in June, some people start in May, and therefore it's very difficult to actually keep track of that. So you need someone who's very meticulous, someone who's very detailed, who's going to be able to keep track of everything. Obviously, I will be there, right, 100% of the time, making sure that all of those things are covered. Okay, at the moment, there is no cutoff date for signing in. We have not decided on that at the moment. But I do believe within the next 2 weeks, once we've sorted out a lot of guys actually signing on, then we'll be able to decide quite possibly. The question was put forward as well: how many members are we looking for in total? Okay, and obviously, with me being the ambitious person that I am, I'd be looking at nothing less than 100 members. Okay, so if we have 100 members at least, that would be, that is going to be something that we feel like we can sort of like close down and just focus on those members, because you must remember that other people will be contributing different amounts, let's say 5,000 rands per month. Some will be contributing the 3,500 rands per month, and some will be going for example, the 200 rand per month. So it will leave us in a very nice position. So we're definitely throwing that 100 number out there. Okay. Now, I remember the second question was, is 200 rand the actual maximum? And so question hopefully was answered already. So maximum is 5,000 rand per meeting, right? You just say per meeting because prior to the meeting, you have to have paid your contribution, whether it's 200, 3,500, or 3,500 or 5,000 rand. So the maximum is 5,000 rand. There is nothing above that. If you want to do that, then you sort of like get family member or something like that. Just don't tell us, and then they can sign on something like that. Okay, now what if I default on payments? Obviously, this is sort of like a membership thing, and you don't get penalized for defaulting. Okay. As much as defaulting will lead to you getting either less equity in whatever deal that we're going to be going on onto, because it obviously means whatever you're going to be contributing will be less than most people. Or if the defaults get to a stage where we feel like it's not quite worth it, then we're definitely going to have to look at getting perhaps a new member to actually come join in, and whatever that person would have to, I don't know, to like revisit their motivation or just get whatever situation that they have at that moment sorted out, and then they can just come back. And cancellation, I heard other question was, let's say midway through, I'm like, okay, I'm done, I don't want to continue anymore. What would happen is 100 is either if we already into a deal, right? So if we're in a deal and you have a certain percentage of that deal, right? When I say deal, I mean various things like that. If we bought the house or we bought, let's say, a building or whatever the case may be, and a person has a small percentage ownership of that. If they cancel and they have a certain percentage, they actually get to keep whatever that they actually have that they own. So that percent, let's say, for example, it's 1.5% of the deal. If they own 1.5% of the deal, then they get to keep that 1.5% of the deal. Right? If they want to sell it off to someone, they can make it available to someone. And we prefer that first choice comes to one of the members within the club. Right? So they might come to me or they might come to the treasurer and say, listen, I just want to focus on other things. So I like to sell off my 1.5%. Then we'll basically do a valuation of what that would be in the rand value, and then sign off everything and just change hands with regards to that. First payment, first payment, we really didn't set up a payment structure for this for December, I think. Right. However, January is going to be at the end of the month. So our first official meeting is going to be at the end of the month. I'll confirm the exact day for the meeting. Right? I'll confirm the exact day, the exact time. However, the guys who are not in Durban, because the first one for this year is going to be in Durban, right? And I believe the second one we could be in either Johannesburg or Victoria, right? So one of the two venues we're going to be going through to Johannesburg or Victoria for the second one. However, everyone can join via conference, online conference. So if you're in Joburg right now at the moment and you want to join the Durban meeting, which I always suggest people, because I mean, you can't have meetings without members. Once the members are actually signed on, you have the meeting. Okay. Whether you're online, you have your vote. So whatever vote, you can pick up your hand, you can speak, you can type, whatever you want to do. And it's going to be open for everyone to share ideas on how to get into the property industry. Now, the other question was, are we specific or restrict about where we actually buy or sell or whatever the case may be? Now, property is a very location dependent industry, right? You have to get into a space where it's easier to get, I don't know, to get people to become tenants, right? It's easier, for example, in Durban, one of the easier places for people to rent from is in town, right? So if you're in Durban, in CBD, I mean, places fill up much quicker. But if you move a bit further out of town, the further you move out of town, the more difficult it becomes because it's all about convenience. So tenant route, yes, but certain locations that are further out of town are preferable for people who are looking to buy homes. Right. So we have someone, well, we actually have two people. Right. One is in real estate. They actually work with one of the large companies, property companies, well, here in South Africa. And the other one has been involved in property for over 18 years. So he's just been personally doing it from factories, buying and selling homes, all of that. So he's just been involved with a lot of stuff, and he's going to be helping us with a lot of things in the paperwork and all of that. And the first payouts, the question hopefully I have answered. It's a cycle, right? There's no exclusive payout date, right? So it's not like in normal stock where we're like, okay, we put money together, it sits in the bank, doesn't do anything, and then at the end of the year, we just draw that money out. We want that money to work. And if money becomes available after 3 months, then boom, we pay out after 3 months. If it becomes available after 8 months, boom, we pay out after 8 months. And those who wish to reinvest can just put that money back in. Okay, so as I said, we're looking for 100 members, but preferably people who are known by guys who are in the channel. Right. So those a lot of guys I know personally, right? A lot of them I've dealt with, and I know I speak to them on a day-to-day basis. So we'd like to have people who are like-minded, people who will come on board and not only just be like, okay, here's the money, here's the money, let me see something. Right. People who actually want to get involved, like, right, what are we doing? What's the next stage? Um, what are we looking to buy at? How are their accounts looking? So we really want people who want to be active and who want to be involved and who want to be in something like this for a very long time. Okay. So, I mean, if there aren't any other questions, I'll just close off then. I will be sending through a PDF, right? So the PDF is going to be sort of like a membership. I think I've sent it through already, but it seems like the Telegram channel, if you didn't join, if you joined at a certain time after I posted it, you can't actually see it. So I'll have to find a better way either via email, then I'll be sending that through because we last year we were doing via email. So I'll require everyone's email address and then I'll just shoot through the mail. The details, it actually has a constitution as well of iNzuzo Property Club. And everyone who's involved is required to actually sign that. So sign that and there everything is on like that you're going to need information that you're going to need, whatever you're going to be emailing to us and scanning, everything is on that particular document. And then once that is done, we add you onto the site and we're going to keep the Telegram channel. Telegram channel is there for us to throw in some ideas, right? And once we get some money going and some funds into the company, into the club coffers, then we're going to start branching out into a bit more exotic deals. But for now, we're just going to be going through with the normal basic deals, but a lot of them are going to be in, I can say difficult, well, more challenging markets, not difficult, but the guys who actually work with are doing quite well, even in those markets. So it's not that much of a deal, but they are more accessible when it comes to capital. And I mean, we have been speaking to various groups regarding financing whenever we need financing, and that will all depend on how the group actually runs itself. So the club within the first 3 months we need to stay consistent, right? Stay going for certain individuals or certain institutions to actually trust us with credit line for us to go into the bigger deals. Because I mean, you don't want to be in this space and just play small. You don't want to have 2 or 3 or 4 apartments. You want to have 1,000 apartments. You want to have 5,000 apartments. You just don't want to end up here in South Africa, for example. you want to have properties in Indonesia, which is what the guy is doing right now at the moment. He's saying like Indonesia is a very hot market, so he's been investing a lot in Indonesia and a lot of Asian countries. So that's essentially where we're going to be going with all of this. But we do have to start somewhere, right? So we just need to get the basics right, right? Stay, I don't want to say true to the group, but just remain focused on what we're going to be doing. Whatever ideas that you actually need, okay? Whatever ideas that you feel like are going to be relevant to the group, then just throw that in there. We're going to have a nice discussion regarding those. And yeah, I see a very beautiful looking 2019. And I guarantee every single person in here decides that this is what they're going to be doing for the next few years, will make something very special when it comes to property. Because I believe everyone should own a home. And I did mention that in last night's webinar that when it comes to home ownership, members will be getting like some very nice deals when it comes to houses. Once you're ready to buy a house or you want to move in for rental and all that stuff, that's all going to be very exclusive deals that members will be getting once we start moving forward and just getting things done. Okay. Do you guys have any questions? Is there anything I missed? Okay. I think we have less than 5 minutes. But if there are no other questions, guys are sure there are no other questions at the moment. I will be ending off our meeting right now. And any questions perhaps that you might have, you can throw them on the Telegram channel. I'll answer them there. Just need to stretch my knee a little, got a bit of an accident, but I'll be on for probably the next hour or two. And then after that, I'll just require one to send through the email addresses. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much for making it. I will announce the next informal meeting in the Telegram channel as well. I'll do that tomorrow though, so you can come in. All right, cheers.